Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of OAF Discussions. I'm your host, Kid Swift. With me as always, Mr. Brent.
Doing it for the culture today.
Yeah.
Shayna.
Just be honest, all these girls look like a Build-A-Bay.
And Webb.
It looked like he died, and it's like, well, I don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of OAF Discussions. I'm your host, Kid Swift. We are back again for another week of...
No man with the gift and all that other shit?
No, I don't like doing it with Brent's not here. It's not the same with not everybody here. But yeah, welcome back, guys. We're back again. We've got more. I feel like this is going to be a recurring thing over the next at least month or so, where we're going to be reviewing new music.
As anticipated, based on Kanye's tweets and stuff, most likely, yeah.
Yeah, we pretty much have it scheduled out through the end of June.
And some stuff we weren't expecting.
Right, absolutely. So that'll be probably the main portion of this week's episode. Brent isn't with us yet, but he will join us in a minute, just so you guys know. But yeah, welcome back.
Oh, Webb and the other person talking.
Yeah, just so you know. But yeah, so we are back again. So as always, we like to start off getting into our weeks, seeing how everybody's doing, and we will get Brent's week when he gets back. But yeah, so first and foremost, I guess I'll start off. Nothing too crazy this week. Finally beat Fallout 4 after
When did that come out?
2 years ago? Wait,
oh, okay.
No.
That was what, 3?
Was it last fall?
Wait.
I feel like it was 2. No, it was 2 years ago because it was September 2 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah, I finally beat it yesterday because I just got to a point where I just had stopped playing it, and then I was like, okay, let me finish it, and I finally finished it, and now I'm going back and then I'm restarting Prey, which was a game I really liked, but I got to a point where it's one of those games where you can kind of screw yourself. Okay. As far as you have to be very careful with ammo management. So you can get to a point where the amount of enemies greatly outweighs the amount of ammo you have. Now you have a wrench, you have melee options, but when you've got 3 of the monsters in this game coming at you, there's no way. So other than that, yeah.
I thought Prey was more like y'all were hunting the animal rather than those animals going after you.
Well, no, the original Prey actually was, I don't know, it's famous for its butthole doors. Was the thing everybody jokingly remembers it for.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different game altogether.
Okay.
Okay, Prey was the one with the little goo, basically symbiotes.
Yeah, and the main character was Native American, really Native American.
Oh,
based.
so I'm sorry, the original Prey. Yeah,
the original one. Yeah. Now this one is
the one with the symbiotes, or the things that kind of mimic everything and stuff.
Yeah, no, that's this one. That's this one. Yeah, and it's really good. It's a great fucking game, and the soundtrack's incredible because it's all new synthwave stuff. So, with that being said, going through that again. Other than that, obviously the music stuff that we checked out, Kanye and Black Thought stuff. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, other than that, getting ready for E3. I'm still trying to figure out how we're gonna do it. I think probably the best bet is gonna be to do a kind of collective thing on Sunday, which would be next Sunday or something, later on that evening, because the only thing is the way the scheduling is. Saturday is going to be EA's, and then late Sunday is going to be late Sunday. I have to check my schedule again. But yeah, so we'll cover that and we'll bring that to you. It's been interesting seeing all the stuff leak, leading up to it, all the stuff coming out. The new Assassin's Creed got announced, leaked, because it always gets fucking leaked. But now it's going to be set in Greece. And the only shot we got from it was just literally almost a copy of just with a cliff instead of a hole in the ground of the "This is Sparta" moment from 300. It was the main character kicking the shit out of somebody and they're flying off the fucking cliff. But yeah, so with that said, excited about that stuff coming out. Other than that, nothing too crazy. Same old same as far as the week goes. But yeah, I couldn't think. I was trying to think if there was anything else really like weird that happened or anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying.
Nothing really,
That's what I was
yeah.
trying to do this entire time. I was like,
But-
what the hell happened this week? What did I do this week?
Yeah, but it wasn't that much. Like, wasn't nothing too crazy. It was funny. The one funny thing was that because I got a call randomly. Didn't know the number, so of course didn't answer it first, and then they texted me, which was weird.
Yeah.
And it was like, "Hey, we got your resume. We want to set up an interview for this job." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool." And then I was like, "I didn't apply to y'all." So I was confused as hell. And I was trying to figure out, it was like somebody like a local company, but I was like, "How did you guys? Like, where'd y'all use that help wallet Lexington.com and find something?" Like, I don't understand how that happened.
I need to dust off this LinkedIn of mine,
Right.
and update it.
The funny thing, the ironic thing about that, literally earlier this past week, I like updated everything on my LinkedIn so it would be current. Put a bunch of like stories and stuff that I've shot at the station and all that good stuff to update it, and then that happened, and I was like, I don't understand. And, like, I was like, I guess okay, but yeah. But other than that, I can't think of anything else too crazy that happened. But yeah, so with that being said, how was your week, bro?
Man,
How you doing?
I'm tired right now. I'm actually hurting.
Okay.
I am in the process of moving.
Oh,
We
nice.
should be finished after this episode. I think there's only one more trip,
Nice.
and then we just gotta vacuum and clean up around there and just to get it presentable.
Yeah.
For the next people.
Right. You staying in town or you leaving?
I'm still in Lex. Still in Lex. So
Nice.
I hate moving.
Oh, it's terrible.
I really do. Like, I don't want to be around anybody that loves moving to begin with. So
You got to be a special kind of crazy to love that.
you got to be. It's just the whole notion of like, and plus we're at the top floor in both buildings.
Oh God.
So to go back and forth down from there and then up and all that other stuff. I had I had my phone on me this time, and it was like, "Hey, you reached a new step goal," and "Hey,
like,
you
no
reached a new
shit.
stair climbing goal." I was like, "I never said a stair climbing goal. What are you talking about?" Yeah,
It's so astronomical that you just reached your third. So
yeah. It was like, "You got a new record." It was like, "Well, no shit. I didn't have one to begin with."
I can't feel my legs. Of course I did.
It was funny because we had movers this time around, so obviously
Oh, nice.
that's why you didn't get a call or nothing like
Okay,
that.
I was wondering. I was like, all right, that works.
Yeah. There's pros and cons with doing one or the other. It's in there asking
Yeah.
your friends, and they're asking or having movers do it.
Right.
With movers, obviously, there's you got to pay for them. It's
Well,
like
yeah, that's the big part. That's the
that's really like the biggest con, or like, well, not the con, like they're gypping you. It's like,
right. Yeah.
as far as pros and cons go, that's the biggest one on the negative side. As
Right.
far as just paying them and just kind of like setting the rate, and sometimes like you can't. Oh, I was about to say you can't crack a whip on them because like that sounded bad because one of the movers was black. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, boy, I don't like how you moving them boxes. Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
Oh.
but then like also with friends, it's kind of like, well, you got to sit there and make sure everybody's like timed the way they need to, and then like
Right.
you don't want to sit there and just you don't want to crack a whip on them either.
Right, exactly. You lose
But at
friends.
least with payment, it's like, here, y'all want a beer or y'all want some beers or something to eat.
Right, absolutely.
Afterwards. And
Yeah.
so, so with them, it was interesting. On the fact that like it was funny because I was actually bigger than they were.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure they were sitting there wondering, like, why ain't your big ass in there moving these boxes?
That's really funny.
And as the camera can show, I'm not really that damn big, so just showcase
Yeah,
them.
right,
So
yeah.
you can tell they were college students.
Okay.
They came in funky.
Oh, really?
So I don't know if they already were moving beforehand and then
Yeah.
just like they were like dispatched
Right.
over,
Yeah.
and
They
like
were
they're
going
kind of just
hard.
from one job to the next.
That makes sense.
Whoo, buddy. It lingered too, and even when they wwere gone, like they were in one place and then they walked away, and it just kind of wafted. It was still just in
You
the
walk
area.
over there, you're like, God.
Yeah. That. I didn't notice it until the wife said something, and then I was kind of going like, I was kind of away at the time,
Right,
but then
yeah.
when it came time to actually interact with them and stuff like that, I was just like,
It's so fucking funny.
When you just try to do an extra exhale to just like just to not ingest it.
Yeah.
And also to sit there and just hopefully you sit there and
You're like dispersing it. You're doing like
when you walk into somebody smoking.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Like you don't want anything to do with that, and you just go.
Or it reminds me of like Harlem Nights.
Which one?
When he was like, don't. He said, if you take a breath, he said, if you take a break. Oh, he said, your ass is crazy. Your ass is dead.
Okay, I forgot about that. I forgot about that part.
Don't take a big breath. Your ass is
dead. They took their time with taking the stuff down.
Okay.
But when it came to actually like getting there at the actual location that we needed to be, they were actually a little bit more quick. They were actually quicker. So it wasn't like they were trying to tax or nothing like that. It felt like at first I was kind of worried. It was like, yeah, I don't think it took 2 people to carry that, but
right. Yeah.
But after a while, they kind of like they put the pep in
pace.
step once they figured out where they needed to be and all that.
That's good. Yeah, it sucks.
It does.
The worst moving experience I can think of, just because I don't understand how it worked, was when me and AJ left K-State. Because we packed that van of mine, like you couldn't see out the back window.
Right.
And you couldn't see the roof because everything was like to the roof and all the way to the back. And I still don't understand how we got all that shit out there.
Well, there were multiple trips. Well, there was more than one trip.
Yeah.
Because we did have to use AJ's BMW.
That's right. Yeah, we did too.
And it just died in the middle of the road.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's true.
And then we sit there. We were packed. Like I had boxes between my legs on my lap.
Yeah.
All this other stuff. Like I was just engulfed.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, we sit there and stopped. It stopped working. We sit there, pulled over. All of a sudden, we was like, "Hey man, you smell that?"
Yeah.
And it was like, "Oh shit!" It is like
the car's on fire.
We were afraid the car caught on fire. I remember opening the door and I kind of just dove with the boxes.
Just rolled out.
Because I refused to sit there and just one by one and said, okay, here's what we're going to do. So now I just took this and I just
rolled
I just rolled out with all the shit.
Oh, God.
I tried to get it to where I could land on it, but I was just trying to get out of there as quick as possible. But luckily it didn't catch on fire, obviously.
Yeah, right.
I guess it just overheated or some shit.
I think it was,
I don't remember what the problem was.
We had so much shit in that room. Like, it was like we were trying to pack into like a New York apartment with 3 people.
It was practically y'all had 2 gaming systems.
Yes.
Kind of a makeshift studio.
Yeah, 2 TVs.
Yeah.
I mean, it was basically like a mirror of both sides of the room.
Yeah.
It was like exactly the
It was
same.
almost, it was like a fucking kaleidoscope dorm. Yeah.
God, it was so much shit, man. Like, it was ridiculous. And then looking back, I always think about it because it's so funny to me now. I'm thinking about, like, it wasn't that long ago, but it was a while ago. Because, I mean, we're talking about, at this point, over 10 years.
Damn it. I wasn't going to say it.
But the funny thing about it that I think about is just a simple thing of how big those, and this sounds weird, but how big those little TVs were. Because they were just like 32-inch TVs, but they were rear projection style.
They were CRT,
because they were so heavy. And now you could fit like 5 of those in the space that we had one.
Well, in the same size TVs those were.
Oh, you could carry both of them.
2. You carry 2 of them.
Under your arm like it were fucking books. Like, it was me nothing.
But
now.
with the old ones, you had to carry those around like you were fucking Colossus in,
dude.
Was it the 3rd X-Men?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We had that big ass TV. Hey, have you seen Rogue? And he's sitting there just like this. It's like, oh, she's at somewhere.
Right, yeah. But yeah,
it was like,
so
okay,
ridiculous.
so this is just, well, I guess it is normal. I forgot. It's
Normal.
Xavier's school. Expect shit like that.
Right. That was, that's probably the worst, moving. Because it was just, it's just so much. Just any time dealing with that dorm room shit. Because you just, like, pack everything that you own into the smallest possible space. And then you have to move it and into another insanely small space of a car.
Luckily, I only had to take 2 things apart, which was the dinner table and the bed.
Oh, yeah.
Left technically the TVs, but I mean, kind of. But that was only like the stand. But,
Okay.
But other than that, it was like, I didn't have to worry about taking apart the TV stand and having to reassemble it and all that other shit. Like, luckily, that shit it's sturdy. Yeah.
That's good. Nice.
Didn't have to worry about the computer desk. Left that as it was. Hell, got that shit from Walmart. So if anything, if it breaks, it's fine. I could cough up another $20 for
it. Order something from IKEA in a second.
Oh, or something, yeah. I've had that shit way before when I was still single. So I'm surprised it's still holding up.
Nice.
So, honestly, that is all that's occupying my mind right now. I know I did something else, but I can't think of it. So, moving has just completely occupied everything in my brain.
But you said you're almost done, so that's a good thing about it. It's not too much longer. That's good. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Well, when Brent gets here, we'll get his 2 cents on everything. See what he's up to.
All right.
But, yeah.
So to kind of piggyback off of what took place last week regarding Daytona's review, mentioning Infrared, and then mentioning the Duppy freestyle.
Right.
In that course of, what was it? 3 days after we recorded the episode.
Yes.
Clips. Pusha finally got his response to the Duppy freestyle, the story of Adidon.
Yeah.
And I will say this with the Duppy freestyle, I really like that beat.
Yeah.
I don't remember mentioning that.
Yes.
I think it was just I was so caught up in the fact that I didn't get to hear it yet, and the timeline was just hyping it up way more than what it should have.
Absolutely.
And as far as like the punchlines that took place on it, like I didn't really go in depth on that. As far as the punchlines, where it's like you older than a nigga, you running behind.
Yeah.
That one, and like you're not really Pablo Escobar or something along them lines. I can't remember off the top of my head now.
Yeah.
Those were the only real digs that were towards Pusha.
Yeah.
And the majority of the punchlines that everybody was sitting there hyping up was towards Kanye.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny. It was like, oh, he murdered Pusha. It was like, not really, because it's like, as far as that line with you older than a nigga you running behind, somebody sit there and put a side-by-side picture of the dates, and like they're barely a month apart from each other.
That's funny.
And then somebody was like, used Ken Jeong's character, Dr. Chang or something like that from Community, where he was just relaxed and he was like, I'll allow it. And I was like, well, it was like technically. And then someone's like, yeah, that's why Drake's the greatest. It's like, hold on, whoa, hold on. We were just saying technically he's right.
Yeah.
You sit the fuck down with that.
Right. Yeah. You jumped the gun a little bit too much.
Just a little bit.
Buddy.
And ironically, the weakest line in that freestyle, quote unquote, was the bit about make your name ring on it or something along the like Virginia Williams, however the line was supposed to go.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It was a weak ass pun regarding name ring.
Yeah.
And ironically, that weakest line was what pissed Pusha T off the most for him to go ahead with this response. And story of Adidon. Your thoughts on it?
It was definitely reminded me of a lot more of because Drake makes. There was a really good comparison that I read that made me laugh. It was basically like, God, I think it was basically Drake. Hi, my name's Drake, and I'm here to say we're here to bust Pusha T in a crazy way. And then it was like Pusha T. Drake was directly involved in the Russia conspiracy. Like, that were the two levels of like.
Okay, severity. I remember that.
So. That's a really good comparison or representation of like what this was.
Damn shorts got me looking like my nuts about to slip out.
Like trying to cross.
I ain't never worn shorts before, and I don't think I'm gonna do it again. Yeah, I was thinking it's like, yeah, I done squats. I think I'm good now. It's just like, and then all of a sudden, just
the camera, right? Yeah. The camera's too low.
So that's why I told you to bring this in tighter. just chest up. Yeah.
Okay. But so basically with that, I think Pusha T definitely went. I mean, it's obvious. It was way more ruthless. I think his as a diss was better. Drake made a better song, which I saw a lot of people saying like, I could listen to Duppy again because like you said, you like the beat. It sounds more like a song. With
Pusha,
it's more like delivering
a battle.
Like I would compare it to like delivering a what's it called, like when they go like this is Pusha T, stop. Drake, you suck, stop. Like what's that called, like a
telegram?
Yeah, like Pusha was more like a here's the message, damn, okay, I got the message, and then you never have to hear it again.
Yeah.
But he definitely took a more ruthless route. He definitely took a more route of, like, people were like, oh, like, I didn't know this was going on.
Yeah. Like,
Drake was saying a lot of stuff that if you paid attention, you pretty much knew everything or knew where he could go dig-wise.
Yeah.
Pusha came with, like, some kind of, like, skeletons in the closet type. Like, I'm going to pull this shit out, and I'm going to show everybody who you really are type thing.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I would probably lean more towards Pusha's, especially because it harkens back to a older style battle / beef,
like a No Vaseline or the Bitch in You.
Yeah.
Or well, not. I kind of hit him up. But honestly, everybody sit there and brings it's like, oh man, it's like nowhere near as crazy as Hit 'Em Up. It's like where he started off before the music even hit. It's like, that's why I fucked your bitch. It was like, I didn't even hit play.
Right.
It's like,
Excuse me, sir. I just logged into Spotify.
And the funny thing is, that song's kind of overrated. Hit 'Em Up's kind of overrated if I could be honest.
There was another Jay-Z
because
one
honestly, like after That's Why I Fucked Your Bitch, and then like after Pac's verse, there's still another verse from his buddy, and like honestly, you could kind of turn that off after that. But after Pac's verse, and I was like, okay, I'm done. And so
that makes sense.
It lives on as far as like one of the most disrespectful diss tracks or whatever, but at the same time, it's probably one of the more overrated diss tracks. And as much as I love Ether, and as much as we've heralded it as one of the best diss tracks, and as far as it being used as a verb for people getting dissed so bad that it's called they got ethered, even that's kind of a little bit along the lines of overrated too. Now I'm starting to feel like
I could see that definitely. Now one of the other interesting things that I saw as well that I was wondering, get your opinion on.
I was expecting way more backlash for that, but
what the?
No. I was like, elaborate.
No. I was gonna say, a lot of people were basically saying, especially the fact that like now we're at this point where Drake hasn't responded specifically.
Well, he has responded to one thing.
Okay.
Which was funny because I love where the cover that was used was Drake in blackface.
Yeah, right.
The song or the beat that was used was Story of OJ.
Yeah.
And the Story of Adidon is the title. And it works perfectly on the sense of, like, that's kind of the concept of Story of OJ.
Yeah.
Jay-Z and Drake kind of got a little bit of a back and forth going on every now and then, too.
Yeah.
They got a little bit of a rival where they're kind of taking shots at each other.
Right.
And so, like, the layers of that in and of itself.
It was good, yeah. It was a good choice.
So that was awesome, and that was perfect. And that was as far as a statement issued, Drake has only issued a statement regarding the blackface.
Right.
And apparently, I'd say that's probably the most pressing matter out of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
exactly,
the fact that you're using your notes app to issue a statement rather than using that notes app to
write a song,
put a song out as far as addressing it.
Yeah.
And it's even funnier where it was just like with the Duppy freestyle at the beginning where he was talking all this shit and he was like, well, like the arrogance.
Oh yeah.
The arrogance, and he was like,
right.
I'm upset. The nerve, the audacity.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like you don't ever want to sit there and get it with me when I'm in album mode, or you don't ever want to approach me or distract me when I'm in album mode or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everybody's like, oh shit, here it comes.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he did that, and it was like, oh, it's over with, blah blah blah. And then Pusha came out with that. I was like, it was funny because I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast, and they were an hour in, and they were talking about the Duppy freestyle.
Okay.
And they were sitting there, and like Joe Budden was sitting there going, "Oh shit!" For each line, he would sit there, he would play it and stop it and analyze it and make jokes about it and this, that, and the other.
Nice.
And it was like, "Oh shit!" Blah blah blah. And it was like, "Oh yeah, it was dope." And like the other people with him, and then like it was like, "Oh, it's I don't know, Pusha T. I don't know what it is for you, Pusha T." He was getting hyped.
That's funny.
And then like an hour and 4 minutes, 6 minutes in, that's when they were recording and live. The story of Adidon came out.
Oh, wow.
And they had to do a punch in to come back to it after listening to it.
Oh, wow.
And then when they were playing it, they were playing certain lines, just like with Drake's. They were playing certain lines and then stopping. And then it was like, I can't stand when he does that. But yeah. And then when it got to the part with where he was talking about 40 and his MS, they stopped and it was just dead silent.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah,
as you could tell, it's like it almost seemed like he was playing favorites.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like that shit was brutal.
Yeah.
And he got upset. It was like, oh, okay, hold on, they're crossing the line. It's like, but then like his buddy Roy was sitting there talking about, well, hold on, we sitting there like we were just bigging up like when Jay-Z was sitting there and say like, fuck your baby mama in the back seat and put the condom in the baby seat.
Right. Yeah.
Or along those lines, like how is this any different?
Right, yeah.
And so,
which is funny to me because I would always think, like, just out of pure assumption, I would always think that Joe Budden would side with Pusha over Drake. I just feel like
they squashed their
beef,
Joe and Drake.
Okay,
some time ago.
Okay, because it's one of those things where you always think like that just seems like Pusha seems more Joe's speed. You see what I'm saying?
Okay,
like Joe's an old head.
Right.
100%. And I feel like Pusha's more on that wavelength of like lyrical, like kind of, but he obviously is great and appeals to fucking everybody.
Right.
But I feel like Drake's more of the commercial one that I feel like would be easy for Joe to kind of like just
because it's
shove off
because
type thing.
That's the public perception of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
because
he kind of puts that on himself.
Yeah.
Or it kind of comes across that way, especially because of all those interviews and stuff from Everyday Struggle.
Right, exactly. Absolutely.
So there's that.
Absolutely.
As far as continuing with Story of Adidon, as far as all the stuff. Had a conversation with Fuquan, who is well, the audience don't know. He's a big fucking Drake fan. Like, he's close. He's bordering on the line of a Drake stan.
Yeah, he might be.
He's bordering. He's bordering. Like I mentioned the Drake stan, and then he's sitting there like, "Hold on now, don't put me in that category." I just mentioned Drake stan. I didn't say anything about you.
Yeah.
I said I know how much you love Drake, and I know how the stans are going. Blah 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 blah. It was
he is the biggest Drake fan I know personally.
Yes.
Besides maybe a buddy of mine I used to work with at Best Buy. Other than that. Fuquan has to be the biggest one.
Easily, hands down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was going like, it was funny because like he started off talking. He was like, "So what were your thoughts about those?" Because it was in between that wedding, so we didn't really get a chance to really talk about it regarding the Duppy freestyle.
Right, absolutely.
And then within that week, Story of Adidon, and he was going like. Drake got to do something.
Yeah, that's good.
He's like, Drake got to do something. And I was like, well, what can you do? It's like, fucking something. It's like,
just fucking something. Swim. Like, it's like a swim.
Swing on him, something. Yeah. It's like, but then, like, the more we started talking about it, that's when he started putting his cape on. Okay. And he just kind of go like, well, now that I think about it, nothing Pusha T said was was news or different from what Drake has already talked about. I was like, when did Drake talk about 40 having multiple sclerosis?
I don't think he's ever mentioned it. It's just one of those
he was like, but then he mentioned a line from like 0 to 100. It was like, I got 40 in the studio late night, every night. And then he mentioned like a little bit of a line. I was like, that was a bit of a stretch, but go ahead.
Right.
I don't like arguing with Fuquan when it comes to Drake.
You can't.
It's like it's fucking tiresome. And I just talked about moving. It's like we had took a break.
I'm more exhausted.
We took a break. It's just as strenuous as moving or arguing with Fuquan with music.
That's funny.
Especially when Drake is involved.
Right, absolutely.
Especially. And I was just like, just fucking go off. Just say what you need to do because I got to save my conversation for the podcast anyway. You're gonna hear what I got to say. Yeah, my thoughts on it. So he was like, "Well, yeah," and then like he mentioned the song "I'm Upset." Have you had a chance to hear that?
Oh, the new song thing.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I haven't had a chance to listen to that because I just haven't, because I really wasn't interested with him because I saw a lot of people that reacted to that. It was like, you gave us a W freestyle and you gave us this shit. What the fuck is this? It was basically like what I saw a lot of people saying. So I was like, all right, I'll wait. I don't. It's not a diss, so I won't even worry about it right now. I'll listen to it eventually. But
and,
so is there anything in that?
Now people are saying that he is alluding to having a kid in that song.
Okay.
Whereas like it's something along this like every month I give her she gets something thousand.
Okay.
And he was like, I got 7 years. I can still do what I want. Okay. And I was like, well, hold on.
The hell is that?
So he made it. So what the people that are caping for him that threw that out there. Fuquan wasn't one of them, but the people that did throw that out there, it's like, here, he's already talking about paying child support. It's like, but they said that he hasn't yet had a paternity test. Why are you paying child support if you don't have a paternity test?
Right.
And it was like, and then also in that line on there, where it's like, I got 7 years, I can still do what I want. And I was like, so wait a minute. So you're paying child support for 7 years, and then you're going to get into the kid's life when he reaches 7 years old?
That's what I was confused about. That's what I was trying to figure out when you said that. Like, what do you meant by that?
So I don't know. Like, it's kind of weird because it's like, I don't know. It was like, I thought if this whole controversy didn't come up, when he said, I got 7 years, I can still do what I want.
Yeah, that's a weird way.
I'm under the impression, like, if we didn't have that context as far as like Adonis, his alleged child, if we didn't have that controversy, it would have been, I would have figured he meant that I still got 7 years left in the game. I figured he meant I still got 7 years of rapping. I can still do what I want. And then he's probably just going to go off and do other ventures or something along them lines.
Right.
I don't know. It's once again, that's also kind of a stretch as far as using that as an excuse. It's like, oh, he's already talked about it. It was like, oh, everybody already knew about this chick. Everybody knew about his kid. It was like, no, not really. It was one. It was a rumor. Yeah, he's not picking up if you're dialing him. I hear it ringing on that end.
Well, the thing is.
Oh wait, hold on.
Did he pick up?
Yo. A little bit. Is it this one that'll turn up? Yeah.
Yo. Can you hear me?
Yes. What's going on with you?
So the other thing.
Okay. Hold up. Let me switch y'all into the headset.
Oh, you're good. The other thing about that is I remember specifically him saying like, what was that line where he said, I even fucked a few porn stars I'm ashamed to mention. I assume this is what he was talking about.
Well, I assume there were multiple porn stars that.
Oh, we're talking Drake.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yes, we're trying to dissect some of the stuff, and the points that were brought up from a big Drake fan that we know, we're dissecting that and trying to sit there and figure out what the part, like, if there's some validity to the argument that he made.
Right.
And
now, here's one thing I will say, because he's probably one of the most educated battle rapper enthusiast.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going.
I'd love to get Brent's opinion on this, as far as like the response and everything between Drake and Pusha.
Okay. Where do you want me to start at?
Well, the main thing we were mainly focused on, because obviously we brought up the Duppy thing before, but we're talking about like Pusha's response and if it was effective, how it was effective, where it kind of falls in line with the the pantheon of diss tracks over the years, from Ether to
Okay, so career ending, no.
Right.
Now that blackface photo,
it's terrible.
Okay, so the whole. Okay, I'm gonna do it in pieces. All right, so Pusha T's up. 2-1, 3-1, however you want to call it. I'm still trying to figure out where everybody gave Drake the 1.
Oh.
That's the part I'm trying to get where's everybody counting the wins at?
Right.
Like, are we calling Infrared a win? So if we do that, are we calling the Duppy freestyle. Are we calling that a win? Like that's what I'm trying to get how people are doing their score.
Are we counting Exodus? Well, Exodus was more towards Wayne and Baby. Yeah.
Yeah,
and then they
like
kind of had
Wayne and all them.
And there was some shit in between. Drake said did something on. It wasn't Tuscan Leather. It was damn, what was it called? I can't remember now. It was like there was some. He
was
had
it on
some,
that album?
I believe it was on that particular album. He had some. He sent some shots towards Pusha.
Okay.
Some time ago, and then Pusha had something.
Was that any good?
From what I can remember, off the top of my head, I cannot remember.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and then the thing was, it was kind of more along the lines. He sent shots, but the song wasn't specifically for him.
Yeah, it was just kind of like it was just
Infrared was more
for him.
No, actually, I don't even feel like Infrared is really like. I mean, outside of him dropping the name in the beginning,
right?
Like, I don't feel like it's like a dedicated
song
song to Drake. Now, a story of
Adidon.
That is literally tailored towards Drake.
Right.
That was a diss.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
If nothing else, he's Pusha T's winning in that moment. He's winning off of that because he dropped all the stuff that he brung up in that, talking about his dad and then relating him as a bad dad or potential bad father to him. Why don't you let the porn star, be your world? I've even seen tweets of the lady talking about Drake was a deadbeat dad.
Right.
Like maybe like a year ago or something like that.
Right.
Now the blackface thing is what sold it for me. That's what took it into diss track moments. Do I think it's up there? No. And like the pantheon of all diss tracks, I don't think it's up there.
Webb had a really good point before you got on, where he was talking about how like the combination of using that blackface picture, using the story of OJ Beat, and then also the layered things of Drake and Jay-Z always kind of having a little like stiff like back and forth thing. It's a really good...
And I forgot to throw that out there. Also mentioning Drake's struggle with blackness.
Yeah. Is a very good like layered, just initial diss off the just kind of the layers of all of it together without even being about the lyrics in the song. Like literally the presentation is a diss as well.
Actually, the presentation is definitely is better than the actual lyrics of the song.
I like that.
I'm with you, Webb.
Could you separate that?
You shouldn't. It shouldn't be separated. It should be taken as a whole package. But since we just chopping it up, when I look at it, the presentation sells this diss, the blackface, the song, Jay-Z's
story of OJ.
Story of OJ. Then you got that whole, I'm not black, I'm OJ. You know what I'm saying? You still doing this like color dynamic or self-reflection of self or what is self, that type of thing. It's so layered that it's actually beautiful. Like it's beautifully done. Like it's really so good. Layered. It's really good. And I think that's what sells this. Like that's even more important than the lyrics of "You're a bad dad." Oh, you got a son. Oh, your daddy left you.
Right.
Oh, it was a porn star you was messing with.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, we now know why you make single mom music. Because you got a single mom, you know what I'm saying? Like we now know why you make that type of music.
I like that. I like the fact that him making single mom music to redeem his own shitty
because he's terrible of a person. You know what I'm saying? Like you see what I'm saying? Like that's what the better part was. So now for his rebuttal, like he now has to address, or he did finally address, like the blackface. Where the hell that come from? Oh, it wasn't Photoshop. Oh, this is real. Oh, you did this in real life. You know what I'm saying? Now we got a conversation on that. Now it's like, oh, are you really a deadbeat dad? Are you really not in a kid's life?
Right.
There's other, artists like Chris Brown. He found out he had a daughter, and is her name Royalty? Is that what I heard? I think I seen somewhere her name's Royalty.
Probably.
But she's in stuff, you know what I'm saying, with him. Apparently, Chris Brown says that's the best thing to happen to him. He had a baby. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of guys who ain't, a lot of men and women who ain't celebrities and stuff like that. Kids make, help them out, calm them down, put them on a better path.
That plays another theme later.
Yeah.
True. But when we're talking pantheon of all this, I don't. This isn't gonna drop in like my top. Like, I don't think it's gonna drop into like, just without thinking, my top 5. Like, I don't feel like this is a Ether or a the Takeover or a 300 Bars of Running or a Hail Mary.
I always forget about that.
Or a Jack the Ripper.
There was something else there was another Jay-Z one that's not one that's mentioned.
Super Ugly.
Super.
That's the one.
That's
That's the one we were just talking about.
Super Ugly. I don't think it's a Stomp with T.I. versus Young Buck.
How you diss a nigga on the
Ludacris
same
versus,
song?
Ludacris versus Young Buck. I don't think it's T.I. I forgot the one when he did Game Over, Flip Disc.
Oh,
Lil Flip's disc.
I'm talking to you. Well, that was. Well, the funny thing is it was. He's saying I'm talking to you, but it was such a subliminal song, which is even funnier.
Absolutely, yeah.
He mentioned all the people he wasn't talking about in that song.
Yeah.
No Vaseline with Ice Cube. No Vaseline.
Yeah, we mentioned No Vaseline.
Yeah. That's great. I love
like
that.
they're like just off the top of my head, like those.
There's
like,
really great
already.
ones.
I ain't even dropped a 50 Cent a 50 Cent diss.
Yeah.
Or a Fat Joe diss.
Or the collaborative Stomp. Or not, hold on.
No,
Whoa, no, hold on. I'm sorry. Let me elaborate. The collaborate Stomp a Nigga While They're Down, known as Hail Mary 2004, 2003.
Yeah.
Where it was a Dre, 50, and Eminem.
Yes.
All jumped on Ja Rule.
That was when they destroyed
Busta.
Murder Inc.
And Busta Rhymes. Thank you.
That's the Hail Mary I'm talking about.
That was
I don't
when
even think of the other.
That was when.
Thank you. Okay, I was wondering. I was like.
That was when they destroyed Murder Inc. Like that.
Yeah, but think
out
about this.
Them.
What other artist has ever had 4 people have to form Voltron to just try to destroy him?
I mean, when you're trying to destroy, like they weren't just trying to destroy one person. They were trying to destroy that
Scatter
label.
the ashes across the earth.
Right. Yeah. We don't want Murder Inc. to ever be said again. That's what
I want him dead. I want his label dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to piss on the asses when I get over there.
Yeah. Like that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Hell, you even got Common's diss to Drake.
The Bitchin' You.
Huh?
Sweet. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the Ice Cube. I mentioned Common versus Ice Cube. The Bitchin' You.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That one's a cold.
That's a classic.
Common diss. That's up there.
That's a
like
classic.
you know what I'm saying. So does this story of Adidon?
Yeah.
Adidon. Does that put that up there in that echelon of what I've just said so far?
I could argue that.
I think there's some place for it, but
I think it's one of the best disses we've had
in a while.
In a while, yeah.
in the last 3 to
because
5
motherfuckers
years.
don't really want to diss each other.
No.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
not really.
We haven't had anything crazy yet, but
well,
I was about to say something. Go ahead, because I was about to say something.
We now got Chief Keef versus Tekashi 6ix9ine, and we now got Lil Uzi Vert versus Rich the Kid.
Because I was about to say, I was like, you literally got
just this weekend.
I was about to say, you literally got Chief Keef running like flying around the country.
I watched the video.
This
sparked was like.
You see what Pusha did? He sparked the new revolution of beefs.
Yeah.
It's like,
that was my thing.
Let me simmer on this. Let me simmer on the story
like
for a little bit.
He's literally chasing him around the country.
I think it's reinvented the hip hop.
So funny,
beef.
man.
You know what I'm saying? The hip hop beef, battles, whatnot.
But here's the thing that I worry about with these. I feel like somebody's gonna get killed. In real life.
Yeah.
Yo, did y'all see the girl leaving the video?
Oh, dude, that was amazing.
She picked up the puppy and everything.
Like she knew immediately.
Like
because it was so funny because he was just like gassing up, just doing his things. They were just sitting there. All his boys were in the background. And as soon as he said her name, he was like, "Nope, fuck that." She was like, no, hell no.
I'm out. Give me my
Last
puppy.
time that happened, we saw brother laid out in the streets of Chicago dead.
Yeah.
Now, because some of those really spill over. That's possible. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I
hold
wouldn't
up. There
fuck-
was
yeah.
a Gucci Man's. He had a song, a diss song, where he
Well,
talked
him and-
about shooting.
Well, him and Jeezy used to beef.
Jeezy's
Yeah.
one of Jeezy's partners.
Oh yeah.
He shot and killed Jeezy's partner for trying to take his chain.
Trying to rob him.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like some of this stuff really
That's
spills
I mean,
over.
that track wasn't that. Yeah, those tracks weren't that up there. I would.
they weren't
I was
great.
afraid you were gonna put that up.
No,
or
he
it's-
wasn't saying those-
No.
He's talking about the whole.
It really spilled
He's
over,
talking about the
like,
violent spillover thing.
some real ish happened. Like
Somebody
most of the
brought to my
time,
attention this.
competitive battles.
Yeah.
That's what hip hop is made off of.
Yeah.
Competitive battles, competitive beef, whatever you want to call it. Because it's always, at least in the MC world, is I'm better than you. I rock the crowd better than you. I do whatever it is better than you. I'm the pinnacle. I'm the best. Right? If you come from that, that's going to make its own competition.
Right.
Right? Now, some of these people just don't really like each other.
Right. Yeah, there's that too.
That's when things can get kind of iffy, like for real. Like people's partners really start jumping in, eye for an eye. You know what I'm saying?
Did I share this with y'all where it was like this dude named something man? I shouldn't have even promoted him. They're saying that out loud, but
I mean, I don't think you did.
What?
I said I don't think you did technically.
Okay.
something.
Some man. He was beefing with three people. He was beefing with two people. Excuse me.
Okay.
One of them was killed.
Okay.
This nigga shot a music video on this dude's grave.
Jesus.
Lord.
He did a music video on this dude's grave. He in the music video, he even spliced in. I think it was only the audio. He spliced in the audio of the news when they were talking about that person that got killed.
Okay, right.
I think he was
This
like
was his homie?
No,
Or
it was
the
somebody he was
enemy?
beefing
Like
with.
the-
It was one of his enemies. It was one of his enemies. He sit there and played the audio where the news was sitting there talking about the guy being thrown off the bridge or something like that.
Is he still alive?
No, absolutely not. Nigga died a month later, or no, a week later.
That's what we're getting to.
Okay,
That's what
I
we're
was
getting
like-
to.
He got killed a week later after that video.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's a certain level you get to where it's like, all right.
Yeah.
Like
somebody
that's
got killed.
disrespectful on so many
Yeah.
why? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that goes beyond music. Then you're getting like, okay,
That's literally the equivalent of like saying like I'm gonna piss on your grave and dance on your grave. He literally shot a
And you
video
literally
on
dance on your
somebody's
grave.
yeah,
and
you
dance on their
videotape it.
grave.
Yeah.
And then like made a video and was like, haha, check out my new single.
Yeah, like nah,
That's
bruh.
not like
yeah, you don't do that.
like
That's beef.
that's
Yeah.
That's grass fed. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
goodness, that's
Good
horrible.
Lord.
Nobody, please,
that's
nobody
Angus.
do that. No, that's horrible.
Angus beef.
Gosh,
That's
like,
what is it? The Japanese.
person's born in the wrong time period doing that stuff. That's
Super
like
high.
some Genghis Khan stuff. Like,
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
let me dance on the slain heads of my enemies
Yeah. Right.
as I
Yeah.
celebrate.
Yeah. You
to-
can't do that. That's
Like,
ridiculous.
no.
What was some other foul shit somebody's done? I can't think off the top of my head, but
But yeah, for this one, I really love Pusha T doing this because it was hilarious. It was escalated the way it should have. Because he was like, I'm not playing games. No. You came back with a nice little rebuttal, did your wordsmith thing, this and that. He started the thing off. Let's take out the dope, the drug dealing. Let's take out the ghostwriting. Let's talk about some
let's take out talking about how much money we make.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's get down to brass tacks.
Right.
Let's
yeah.
get down to the
Let me
nitty-gritty.
break you down as a person.
Yeah,
Not the
yes.
artist. Let me break you down as a person.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And has Drake came back yet?
He's only thing he's responded to was the statement on blackface so far.
Yeah.
At
And
the
that
time of
wasn't
this
a good
recording.
enough answer.
Yeah.
That wasn't even a good enough answer for me.
My name's
Yeah.
Drake, and I'm
Well,
here to
granted,
say-
granted, what's gonna happen is that this is not
He's
a
gonna
career
drop
ender
his
for
album.
anyone.
He still got to drop
He
his
still got
album.
it. Yeah, this month.
Yeah, it comes out like in a couple weeks.
Will this hurt him? Will this hurt? Well, probably not.
Not
No,
so much
thank
because
God.
we'll get to it. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we
No.
Nah, this isn't gonna hurt his image
Jake.
at all. It's gonna make shit a little shaky. It shined a light on the facade. You can kind of see the light through the mask,
Yeah.
but it's not going to hurt him in the long run because
No.
as we just mentioned before you got back on, there are people that are still going to find ways to defend it to the death as far as who he is.
He got his own stand. So, what are they called? So there's like the Beehive.
No, you got it.
There's the Future Hive.
Drake
what
stands. Drake stands is all I've heard. At least I've heard
OV.
the Owls.
Maybe they're
They probably are called the Owls or some lame shit like
because
that.
Riri's got the Navy.
The Navy, yeah. Why is it called the Navy?
Because she's starring that stupid ass Battleship movie.
Are you no?
That's all. I'm serious. That's probably what it was.
That's the only connection I could think of.
That's when it happened. That's when
I
the Navy thing
might
came out.
be for real.
Because she was like the cool badass Navy person. I think that's when it happened.
Legit be. It worked out.
Oh,
she is from
worked.
the Caribbean.
That's the only good thing
does
that came
do
out of
water.
that movie.
She's always in water. She is a mermaid.
I'd rather be the mermaid.
Wow, that's
Riri's a mermaid.
That's
She
funny.
could be a siren if she could sing better. Oh, sorry.
I'm not touching that. If I had a puppy, I'd pick that up and walk off
Yeah,
right
exactly,
now.
right.
It's like,
Just walk off
I'm
the
not
set.
touching that shit.
Yeah.
And I just said the ether was overrated earlier.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I'm not fucking with
about?
Rihanna.
God,
It's like,
we're gonna get destroyed. God, we're gonna get.
fuck it. It's like fuck it. Let's get canceled. Let's get canceled. I'm trying to get
I
canceled.
don't want to get Roseanne.
No, I'm trying to get canceled.
I don't wanna get Roseanne
Because
involved.
anytime somebody gets canceled, their clout raises.
Let's get fucking canceled.
Speaking
Riri
of,
can't sing.
I want to talk about the. good
speaking
music.
speaking of canceled. Oh wait, no, I don't really care about Roseanne because I wasn't watching that shit.
No,
to
I
begin
said I
with,
wanted.
so.
No, I would.
Oh,
Nobody.
fuck her. She cancel
Yeah,
her.
cancel
We
her.
moving on.
Fuck you.
And if they do the dad, cancel that shit. too.
Oh, Ambien was
All right.
funny as hell. Like that tweet was in like, known side effects are not racism or something along them
No,
lines.
that was great. And then the
You would've-
the other really funny thing was on
like
the
the
day
Wendy's,
it happened.
the Wendy's got multiple accounts.
Yeah. On the day it happened, the dictionary account just put out canceled and canceled are both proper. And then they just logged off. I was like,
Like
what?
like where they do it for like one cancel with one L,
Yeah,
cancel with two L's.
Yeah, and they was like, "Are both proper?" And then they just logged off. Like, all right,
Oh,
like,
wow.
like I don't know,
That's great.
like this is what happens when this generation takes over all these like corporate accounts. It's fucking incredible. It's amazing.
Speaking of canceled,
Yep.
Kanye's most recent album, Ye, is doing pretty well on iTunes.
Yeah. Right. That was weird. Oh no, yeah, we.
I
knew
guess
this.
listening
We
was
knew-
a choice.
We knew this. We absolutely.
Listening was just
So-
just as much a choice as slavery, apparently.
Well, we knew. Yeah,
I
we
mean,
knew this was gonna happen, and I can't even really dog it too much because it's got a weird kind of thing.
I don't
going
like
on.
it.
And it's going into a thing. There's a
Maybe I'm not bipolar enough.
there's a
I was about to say, hey, wait a minute, we don't kink shame, but that's not the right word.
no, it's not the right word at all.
That wasn't the right word at all.
So
Isn't
basically,
that what the album cover is? Like it's supposed to be
It was,
bipolar.
yeah, it was
The
like
thing
I
that
hate
is
being
bipolar.
I hate being bipolar. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, let me apologize. Anybody who really is bipolar,
he took.
I apologize if that came out wrong.
Yeah,
Let me start there. My bad.
he took.
No, fuck it, double down.
No, you stupid.
No,
no, don't double down.
That's a jerk move. Like,
Speaking of-
I'm not trying to knock nobody.
May
you know
I
what I'm
interject
saying?
with
Like,
something right quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of mental things, I don't even know the words.
Yeah.
My wife has been binging The Good Doctor.
Okay.
I didn't know that was based off of a Korean show.
Oh, I didn't know
Yes.
that.
And I didn't know the premise. I thought it was just like this kid who looks super young. And I was like, oh, why are we letting a child doctor? This is a reboot of Doogie Howser. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
That makes sense.
No.
Nope. Okay.
The doctor his gimmick is that he's autistic.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I did hear about this. Okay.
And
yeah.
when he would talk, he kind of does this a little bit and rotates his head and
So
all
he kind
this.
of does like the Benedict Cumberbatch from what was that? The
Sherlock?
no from
I would take.
I was gonna
Sherlock
say the
for
what's that?
100, please.
What's
What's
that
the-
game? What's that movie? Oh my god, I can't think of it. Most dangerous? No, not most.
All of
Dangerous
his
Game.
movies.
Russell Crowe?
No, the one where he's like
Beautiful
building-
Mind?
No, where he's building where he's building a supercomputer for World War II. God damn.
Okay, I'm sorry, because when you said, like, when we were talking about mental
Gladiator?
things, I thought you was like, yeah,
Gladiator.
okay.
He's a gladiator.
Just start listing
What
shit
is
off.
happening over there?
Any movie.
Les Miserables?
Les Miserables?
What?
What?
Okay, so,
Tugboat?
and, like, it was weird because, like, there's comedic beats to it involving him, and I was just like, I know this is supposed to be funny,
Is
I
it?
don't think I'm at that level where that's supposed to be. I'm supposed to laugh at that.
Right.
It was just, it was so fucking weird. It was like, yeah, I know he's people too, but yeah, it's just like, is this joke being made at his expense, or is this just kind of more of a
Right. I see what you're saying.
like a failed attempt at
Is it being
inclusion?
handled right? Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was just like, this is the gimmick.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bright individual is better than everyone else in their field,
Yeah.
but they have problems with themselves and trying to adapt to people. It was like,
Which that's the main. That's like one of the main things of Wilson.
why? And like another thing that bothered me, I don't know why all the brown people or all the black people are the same tone of brown
What on the show?
on the show. Yeah,
they, like,
it is
really?
very weird.
Are they like dark skin or are they like light skin?
They're like in the perfect middle, and it's so fucking weird.
What's that guy's name from Grey's Anatomy in Detroit? They like that complexion?
Jesse Williams? No.
The darker than that?
They are black.
Okay.
But they are all, well, actually, now that I think about it, they may have like a fourth of something else, but I don't know. They are all the exact same color.
That's interesting.
I don't know if they are just sharing like one tone for makeup for them or what's
the makeup
going on.
artist's doing the same thing to all of them.
Yeah, it's just like one palette. It's like, damn it, it's like a default color that they have, and just like, and action.
We've got
It is so
Y'all killing
fucking
me right
weird.
there.
We
A
got
default
10. We got 10 color skin
So
options.
what? We're gonna hit you with this. We're gonna hit you with color B today.
Right. Right.
And,
Yeah.
and you will also
Hey.
be color B. Well, I'm more of a F, but it's like, no, it's
No.
color B. Color
Color
B.
B.
If you want
Color
on
B.
the show, you're color B.
Look, we tried to get color F. It was way out the budget. We got color B.
That's
You
fine.
wearing it or not?
And
I guess I'll put it on.
That's funny. Now, back to
Oh, hold on. Back to
God damn it.
what I was peeping on Twitter was like all my cousins and stuff, and like family members and like people on Twitter, stuff like that. They were like, "Man, I took Ambien last night. Whew, I'm glad I didn't wake up a racist." Or
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
they
of
was making
course.
like all these like
course.
Roseanne like digs
Absolutely.
at that. I was
That's funny.
I was dying
Oh,
because
that's
I wrote back
hilarious.
on one of my folks' message. I was like, "Whew, glad you missed that one. Whew, it was a little touch and go. We was thinking that we was worried about you there for a
Yeah.
second, stuff like that." So it's been
One of the best ones.
fantastic. Now, is there something about her becoming like PR for beat-ups, BW3s? Because somehow that came back on my tweet with
The
like a
Buffalo
little
Wild
dog,
Wings?
like a racist dog.
Well,
It's
Buffalo
supposed to,
Wild
like,
Wings?
Racist
Yeah.
watchdog?
No, I think.
I guess it is
no, I
though.
think-
Racist
no,
watchdog that pops
Buffalo
up.
Wild Wings got hacked.
Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings got hacked, and they said
and
some racist shit.
they said some racial shit. They said some super gay shit.
Yeah, right.
Like the secret sauce is Tommy's cum or something like that.
Yeah, and then
that was the very first thing I saw before the racism.
Yeah, that's why. That's,
Goodness.
yeah, that's
So
why.
they got hacked.
Yeah, they got hacked. That's why.
I was trying to figure out because I seen some stuff. It was like, well, that's what happens when you make Roseanne your marketing director or something like that, or PR director. I was like, wait, that
No.
can't be a thing.
No.
That can't
No.
be
That
real.
was that's just for jokes.
Yeah, they were just trying
You
to.
ever see that video with Drake hit the hard R talking about
Yeah,
somebody?
that was I was
I
like,
mean, was he in
like
blackface?
it was one of those like it was. I had the same reaction to that as like if a bug flies in your mouth when you're outside. I was like, and I like turned it off. I was like, oh god, I was like, ew. Like,
What is this?
He was like really young and he said it, and I was like, oh, like what? Is that the first time you ever said it? Like,
It really did. It seemed like he
Gross.
was trying that word out,
yeah,
and he still didn't. He hadn't figured it out completely.
yeah. It was the
It was.
It was
I almost spliced it in there.
it was the vocal equivalent of somebody tripping down the stairs. I was like, oh god, and I turned it off. Like, disgusting.
Hey,
It's like somebody
if
like
you're a Drake stan,
Ugh.
your man's losing. Get your man's, all
weird.
right?
now.
Get your man's.
My favorite thing that I saw from that like whole Adderall thing was no Ambien thing was
I was like, Adderall?
I know, right? Yeah, that one's bad too. No, but it was a picture from that like one of the white supremacist rallies with all the Confederate flags, and it just said tripping off Ambien with my homies.
Oh, yeah. I seen the Tiki Torch people. They was like, and they must have been off a whole lot of Ambien.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so funny.
Like, so
All right.
that was good.
Now,
Kanye West's album.
yeah,
Yes.
let's get back to
I listened to it.
Mhm.
7 tracks also.
7 tracks.
I think
All of
they already went on record. All the album, Nas's album next week is gonna be 7 tracks.
Oh, he's
So-
up next.
Well, Kids See Ghost is next as far as Kanye.
I see that now.
Oh, I heard
on the Wikipedia.
I heard the opposite. I heard that was gonna be fourth. Nas was gonna be third.
Well, it might be next week because I know they literally said it was next week.
Yeah, I see they have a chronology thing going on.
Oh,
here.
they do. They have,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that's cool. That's cool.
Kids See Ghost is next, and then
Nas is supposed to come up, and then Tiana's after.
Yeah, Tiana's is the same week as Drake's.
So, my real thought is, who's gonna be the best of these five? Of what? Because I don't feel like
that's a good question.
Yeah, I'm wondering because I'm curious about how Nas is gonna do. Because Nas typically hasn't.
I mean, his last great one was God, what was the name of that album? The one where he's sitting on the couch with a white suit on.
I'm sorry, which one?
Couch with a white suit.
Who again?
Nas. He's trying to.
Life is Good.
Life is Good. Yeah.
Oh, Life.
That
is
album
good.
is. Oh my God, that album is so good. There's some good shit on that
Life
album.
is Good was good.
Daughters, obviously. I'm sure that strikes a chord with you.
Yeah, Daughters. Which, of course, speaking of which, we'll get into it.
Yes.
The last one on this. Oh.
So did y'all like this album?
At the beginning, I wanted to punch him in the fucking mouth because I was like, I had the same reaction of like when we talked about Logic being like, I'm biracial and I'm here to say I'm here to rap in a crazy
I'm gonna
way.
be pissed if you do this for every rap song or every rapper.
And it was the whole thing of like, I'm bipolar. Look, I'm so crazy. Like, I was like, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. You're just an asshole most of the time. Most of the time you're a dick because the thing about it is he even counteracts himself a lot of times on this album where he's like, I'm bipolar. And then like he'll say, I knew when I was doing that, Kim was like, I'm bipolar. And I was like, I knew that was bad. I'm like, you know what you're
kind of
doing.
using this as a crutch.
Yeah, you're using it as crutch. Like, stop. Like, fuck off. But then track 4 happened. And then the rest of the album was fucking
There's only 7 songs.
Correct.
But like we've said before, exactly, Brent, we've talked about this before, going into this whole series of albums, we kind of have to be harder on them because if 3 out of the 4 songs are bad, that's not good.
Right.
And that's what this is. 1 is annoying until the beat drop, I should say.
I Thought About Killing You?
Yeah,
The first one?
Yeah, that whole
That the first
beginning talking part is, I'm like, shut up.
If he had trimmed it down.
Yeah, or just rapped it, or wrote it in a way that like sounded, or fucking told Kim in a text message, I don't care about you and Kim's relationship. I don't need to hear it.
Well, see, another like as
I did
as
like
a
the
part-time
execution. I didn't like
as
the
a part-time Kanye stan,
Okay.
Fuquan.
Oh, Jesus! I didn't expect that for some reason.
How could you not?
I don't know if I didn't expect that. That's
he
funny.
also had
Really?
he had a theory on
Okay.
I thought about killing myself, or I thought about killing you. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I kind of spoiled it just now. He made it seem like it was actually a conversation with himself.
That makes sense. I kind of felt that.
Yeah.
I kind of felt that too.
Yeah, rather than it actually being towards.
But
I
when
was
the
kinda
beat
hoping.
drops, I like when the beat drops.
Right.
So that song, maybe I took it in a different light, because I heard, I think it was Pusha T with, the dude that's Hot 97.
Funk Master Flex.
Funk Master Flex.
Okay.
Pusha T was talking about
a rapper named Hot 97. I was like,
no.
Okay.
Pusha T was talking about how he writes his stuff is through conversation. That's how he comes up with his material. So
That makes
this song literally sounded like a conversation he could have had with himself,
yeah.
his
That
own
makes sense.
inner monologue, or with someone.
Right.
And he literally would be like, I mean, come on, think about it. Like, I wanted to kill you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I love myself. I love myself so much. I wanted to kill me. What do you think I wouldn't kill you for? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like that whole thing, like, was like, these are literal, like, just full out dialogues.
Mm-hmm.
Now just put to a beat. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
And this album wasn't tainted or thrown off in any way because of Drake's saying that he wrote stuff for Kanye before.
I mean, we kind of know at this point that
That
a lot
he's
of other
had
people have his,
Yeah.
especially fucking what's his
It doesn't
name?
bother. because I don't think of
what's
Kanye
his
as
name?
a like
No.
I'm trying to be the best rapper ever in the world. I
The
think of
young
Kanye
kid.
being a artist in every aspect,
Right.
and saying like I'm a genius, I'm the greatest artist ever. But that's not
Ty Dolla $ign.
singling.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. And that's not singling him to just rap genre. Like he's doing clothes, he's doing this, that. If he came out with a Dr. Seuss book that was Kanye Seuss or something, you know what I'm saying? Like
My name
that
is
wouldn't
Kanye West,
surprise
and I'm here to say,
you know what I'm
here to
saying?
write a book
Okay, you're
in a
pushing
crazy
it, man.
way.
So you're pushing it now.
Yeah.
This is no
I
longer
mean-
organic. It's not even coming out naturally anymore. You're just
It's so stupid.
you're pushing the gimmick
but-
now.
Oh, God.
All right. But like that didn't like that's what surprised me also. I was like, it was wasted bars in Drake's thing.
God.
I was like, it's not a Pusha T. That's here nor there. Let me leave Drake alone. This album did nothing for me.
Okay.
It didn't move the dial. It's when I think of CDs I'm not gonna listen to again, this one's it's like one step above Yeezus. I'm gonna give it one more shot down the road sometime. Just maybe space and place might change. Maybe my ears will hear something different. I listened to it all the way through twice,
Nice.
and no song sticks out to me.
Cool.
And I thought Pusha T had better production than his.
I can dig that.
I can see where your head's at as far as why you felt that.
Yeah.
Now, as far as my opinion, I just kind of toss this out there. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about, which is funny. I love these fucking 7-track albums.
I love it so much. It's so nice.
Overall, this is the second worst Kanye album in my opinion. I enjoyed this better than Life of Pablo.
Yeah, I did too.
I am on the fence as to with this. I enjoy Yeezus more than this. With that said,
Yeezus are weird.
there are tracks that I enjoyed from this. Wouldn't Leave being one of them.
Yes.
No Mistakes. I'm leaning towards No Mistakes because of Charlie Wilson.
Oh God, that hook is just simple
and
perfect.
Violent Crimes I enjoyed.
Yes. The chord progression on Violent Crimes is. It's like I've told y'all
Are you okay,
1,000
son?
times. Beat production is everything, and if you nail chord production, it does something. It has an effect, just organically. And Violent Crimes has a fucking beautiful chord progression on it, and it's one of those funny things where Kanye keeps doing this randomly, where he just finds random artist X and just shoves them like, you sang all the hooks. Here you go.
Okay.
And it's the girl that's on here.
On which one again?
She's on Violent Crimes.
On Violent Crimes. Oh,
And
that
she's
is
also on-
070 Shake.
Yeah.
And she's also on Ghost Town.
And she's also on Pusha's
Santeria?
Santeria, yeah.
Okay.
He just randomly just is like, here. Like he did the same thing to us with
Oh, what is his name?
God damn it. Travis Scott.
Bon Iver?
Bon Iver.
Bon Iver. Wait, it's 2 words.
Yeah, Bon Iver. Bon Iver.
Bon Iver?
Yeah, Bon Iver.
Bon Iver? Nice.
Yeah, just bounce it. It just goes quickly.
Okay.
He's done that with a few people. He kind of did that with like Francis. Francis got a lot of exposure through Kanye stuff because he wrote a lot of shit for him, and he came up with that.
Francis from Francis and the Lights?
Yeah, he came up with that prismizer effect that Kanye used a lot on Life of Pablo. That vocal effect, but that harmonizing effect.
Wasn't that also used on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy?
Exactly, and Chance was used at the beginning of Chance's album too.
Okay.
And Francis uses it a lot when he's with them too.
Okay.
There were some songs on here that definitely harken back to that feeling of a mix between Pablo and Coloring Book, like that kind of like gospel kind of like feel. Now, like Brent said he probably won't listen to this again. It was interesting because the first 3 I'll never listen to again. The last 4, the last 4 I'll play probably regularly, especially Violent Crimes.
Okay.
I love that song. It's really fucking good. Like I said, that chord progression is so good. And I like No Mistakes. Wouldn't Leave. I like too. I mean, it has a very simple, like old school Kanye song feeling. It has almost like Graduation feel to it. As far as the way the drums are, as far as the way the drums are and stuff, and the way he kind of like did it, his cadence is very like fragmented and simple. It's like very like da 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 da. Stop. Da 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 da. Like it's like very like you're gonna hear every word, and like there's gonna be a space between each little verse snippet. But yeah, I definitely agree with you, Brent, as far as like the production being better on Pusha T's. I think so. But I think this, like we're going to see...
I'm concerned that the rest of these albums, the production is only going to be so-so.
Well, here's the thing.
I think he's going to have fatigue.
Well, I don't think he's going to have fatigue.
I mean,
but I think...
Especially if you're only doing 7 tracks.
Yeah, you're really doing in
Pusha,
3...
Kanye,
in
Kid
3
Cudi,
albums.
Nas.
But he's doing it all at the same
Tiana.
time.
That's 35.
But think about this. Graduation and College Dropout was I think like 20 songs, I think. So
there were skits too.
In 3 of these albums, he's maybe hitting.
He's trimmed the fat.
So the thing that I think
plus he's had 2 years.
We're talking about College Dropout was when?
Oh fuck!
What year?
05? Yeah.
Okay, when was the Sunken Place?
What happened? You talking about Get Out?
The movie Get Out?
Yeah. No. For Kanye. When was the Sunken Place? When he's probably started going to his Sunken Place?
A couple months ago.
Let's stop throwing Sunken Place out there like that.
All right. Let me play nice.
I don't think that has anything to do with his fatigue.
That was 05. That was a different Kanye than I would say.
When he started talking out the ass was not February.
I would say a year and a half ago. Hold up. I mean, we're gonna talk about him hitting like his mother dying. That would seem to be a pinnacle point where that's kind of stuck with.
That was after late registration, wasn't it? Or was it after graduation?
I think it was after graduation, wasn't it? Or right when graduation? Yeah, I think.
No,
it was right before graduation, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not gonna make any jokes about depression, anything like that. But what I'm really gonna say is though, these albums, we could probably say have been kind of teetered on the last probably year. All 5 of these albums have probably all been worked on at the same time in the last year.
Well, we know they've been in Wyoming for a year and a half, and that's when this whole process started.
Right. So we're talking. I can't compare what he did with College Dropout or Graduation to him trying to make tonally 5 different albums for 5 different people and trying to masterpiece all of them in his own way to his own ears. Right. Like
that's interesting that you use college. That you use College Dropout and Graduation. Are those the only 2 that you are using as far as the comparison towards his?
No. Y'all picked. We said something about 05. That's because I said that. That's the only reason I use that. No. I'm not. Really. I'm not just because I was kind of like, well, way before. Yeah, it was because Gary said that.
Do y'all actually want to rank the album? Are y'all personal favorite albums of his from best to worst or worst to best, whichever?
I would like to do it with these when they're all said and done.
I can do that next week because I need to listen.
Oh, I could pull the list.
The thing that's going to be interesting that I think you're going to see is, and he said it, and then Pusha's talked about it too, is that it's not like it's just Kanye sitting down and making 7 beats and then calling, okay, Pusha, you can come in now.
Yeah.
It's literally like Pusha's like, I like that sample. Let's see how you can chop it up. So you're going to have a very hands-on from each artist.
Okay.
He's totally hands-on for every, you know what I'm saying? Like he's literally.
No. I'm not talking about Kanye hands-on.
I mean, no. I'm agreing with you, Gary. I'm actually agreeing.
I'm talking about the artist being. Yeah, I'm talking about the artist.
This is like I don't know. The only way I can kind of like put it in my own way of thinking. This would be like an author of books writing 5 different books for 5 different people, and then being like, I'm using their tone, their ways.
5 different autobiographies.
What short stories? 5 different short stories.
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah. We call it short stories because it's only 7 tracks.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta switch. You kind of gotta switch into a different gear for each to be true to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
to an extent,
to an extent,
it's gonna be. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's a challenge.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think honestly, truthfully,
that is Kanye. Like
What'd you say?
Like to keep the stamp that is like, this was Kanye done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I think
that's crazy.
Yeah, no, it is. It's insane. And I think
it's actually easier to work in someone else's voice than it would be to work as your own.
Oh, I agree with that.
Because I mean, hell, we've fucking done something similar to that.
I can't get out of my own head.
Exactly. Like we're like constantly policing what we're saying, constantly editing and proofreading all our shit.
Yeah.
But as far as like, oh, I know this person, I know what they're about. So this is my idea of what they're about.
Yeah.
Here, boom, 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 boom. This is what I have.
And then they go.
And
they can, oh shit. That's dope.
Then they can sit there and go back on it. It was like, okay,
and
tweak it, and it's that and the other. So
it's more freedom.
It's kind of like, in a sense, it's kind of like a bakery. Somebody
like
tells you how to make somebody tells you how to make the cake.
Like what kind of cake?
This is what they want. Okay, I know what they want. I know how to sit there and bring this together to sit there and get it to their liking. Yeah. Here they are. Okay, I'm going to make the greatest cake ever for myself. Yeah. But I like this. I like this. I've learned this technique for this certain type of cake. Yeah. But maybe I want to say, hold on.
Do I want sprinkles? No, I don't want sprinkles. I want white ice and a chocolate.
Carrying these damn sprinkles. I got you. Okay, that's an interesting way to put it. I dig it.
Yeah, it's very it's definitely a task that's very interesting to take up and even want to do it. I think that's a smart thing. I won't say that's one of the reasons because I have no fucking idea, but I think that's a smart thing. Them making these on these 7 tracks because God, I feel like I would. I mean, you drive yourself crazy trying to make a fucking like. But he said
you only need 4 to get Grammy nominated or to put for one of the awards, like to be in the running for the awards. You only have to have like 4 or 5 tracks.
I think it's something like that. I just know the big thing is it has to be sold too. It can't be free.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Like, he's got double than not almost double than the number. Mm-hmm. You round up double. You know what I'm saying? Like, there seems to be a method to the madness. Plus, all of them are condensed. You can do whatever you're doing. Yeah, digest them really quick. Yeah, they're not convoluted. You know what I'm saying? And if you tell your story great, like boom, you don't need to skip.
Right, and then the other the task that's been like that we've kind of taken on to like having to critiquing these is very interesting because like we said, like you kind of have to change because like we said, like I said, 3 of these I'll never listen to again. 4 of them I will probably listen to on a regular basis, and 1 of them I love. It's
we've heard
that. Yeah,
I don't think we heard actually.
No, because I usually just get silent and make a weird face when I talk about it. But that's an interesting way because you're having to judge them on such a like fucking condensed scale. Like this is it, like right here.
It is what it is. Like you know what I'm saying. If I next your song, I still next your song. So whatever I judge, what are the great ones to me or classic ones to me? That's my scale. You know what I'm saying. That's my opinion.
Well,
whatever.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
The great ones compared to great ones. When you say great ones, are you referring to?
He's just talking about songs based on volume. I think is what you're trying to say, Brent.
Hold on.
How I review an album overall, like compare them to other albums overall, or great songs overall. Just what I consume.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm keeping this all opinion, like what I consume.
Yeah.
How I compare it to other songs or other things, genres, blah blah blah. Like if I next it, then there's a reason why I next it. Like I'm just not rocking with. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not feeling it at that level.
Absolutely.
So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Hey, oh, you like that song? Oh, that song was trash, and you're trash now because you have trash ears because you like that song." I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
trash
I'm
face.
not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that because it doesn't matter. I hear how I hear. Right. You hear how you hear.
Really
so if Gary likes the last
Violent Crime
2/3, 2/5 of the album or whatever the hell 2/3 of the album,
3/5. Let's keep it consistent.
3/5 of the album. I was trying to come up with a nice 3/5 of the album. Congrats to Gary.
Right.
Me, album 1 to 7.
Cool.
That's what it was to me.
So
I would definitely give it bronze.
Okay.
I can see
that Black Thought. What y'all think?
Nigga, you didn't even ask us our rating.
I just OAF gave it bronze. We're moving on. No.
Right,
What y'all give it?
he just spiked the football
I
and
did it
ran.
on purpose. I was like,
He just
nobody
spiked the
else.
football and ran into the locker room.
Nobody else is giving ratings on this. We'll get other ratings. Because Gary's going to skew it. Like, Gary's going to be like, this is damn near gold.
No,
the last
I'm
four
not.
tracks
I'm
are
not.
platinum. And then I'm going to have to be like, rubbish.
I like how you automatically downgrade it based on the fact that I would give it that. That's funny.
All right.
He tried to add on a curve. It's like,
Gary's an outlier right now. Like, I can't
God.
trust it right now. No,
What?
what's y'all how do y'all rank this one? How do y'all feel on this one?
You want to go first?
are you the most triggered? Do you, as far as you being the most triggered, do you want to sit there or the most attacked?
No, right? Yeah, no. I will say I was gonna give it, and I was thinking about this earlier. I was gonna give it silver. That's as high as I can go.
Oh,
That's
okay.
funny. I was actually going to say silver as well on account of the content as far as the amount of tracks that I liked that were as opposed to the amount of tracks there are.
Right. Absolutely.
And the fact that there is some type of growth in himself and like an acknowledgement as far as who he is as a person, this, that, and the other. Mentioning, like, finding out, like, him. It's so funny. It's like, it's kind of, as far as him mentioning being bipolar, it's also kind of like those lines, like when you find out your blood type or you find out your blood pressure, like when you're a kid or your weight or something like that, when you get a physical or something along them lines, and you say, hey, I'm blah, 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 blah. And then you sit there paraded around.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like when certain chicks find out their horoscope and that takes up their entire fucking
okay.
life. And I can kind of see he's wearing out the new car smell of finding out that he's bipolar.
Right. Absolutely.
And, you know, kind of working through that, trying to figure out, and like him trying to figure that out as far as, okay, it also comes across like a crutch, but at the same time, it kind of also shows that he's trying to acknowledge who he is more. So
I appreciate that. I actually appreciate that he's doing the acknowledgement. I haven't took it as a crutch yet. I do feel like it is definitely a good play to stop all the people that's like, Kanye's just crazy. He should be in an asylum. You know what I'm saying? Like
Insane
he's
asylum.
gone off he's insane. Like, you know,
Coming
he at
up,
least
5
acknowledges-
reasons why Kanye's lost
I
it.
give him he typically acknowledges his own flaws.
Right.
And that seems to be him as a person in general. Like, you like it or not, he does acknowledge that he's human, even though when he's talking about him as an artist, he feels like he can be godlike, potentially.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a weird dynamic
I also
to it.
think
But
it's
he did have a
that,
song called I Am God.
Right. Yeah. I also think it's funny that, like, just based, not even like the music itself, but he had a few like good, interesting concepts for the album cover, and then he literally took that picture before everybody got there, and then scribbled that on there, and then that was the album cover.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it works, because there was a really like weird morph version of his face that was kind of like animated. That was a really cool one.
I missed that.
And then he was just like, no.
Yeah. And then there was also the
Cover.
picture of like the family together, but instead of Kanye, it's the bear.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad he didn't go with that.
Because the thing is,
Implies that implies the old Kanye.
exactly, that gives me false hope if I would have saw that.
Yeah.
I probably would have ended up rating it lower, because that would have made me think like, oh shit.
Yeah, and we ain't seen that bear since graduation.
Yeah.
So
what if you get that bear on him and Cuddy's album?
I'll be interested.
I would have to see what, you know.
Maybe Cuddy can bring it out of him. Cuddy's different.
I'm interested in that album.
I want Cuddy's album cover because it's literally one of my favorite rap album covers ever.
Man
even
on
though
the Moon?
I don't like that album that much.
Which one?
I just want the same album cover as Man on the Moon no, not Man on the Moon, of what was it called? The one where he's running through the woods and like falling.
Oh,
I just want that same album cover, but Kanye's album cover, but him running past the mountains, just like falling. Because I love that album cover so, because it looks so stupid. Yeah. It's so dumb. But I am excited. I think Ghost Town is kind of a little bit of a sonic preview to what we're going to get from kids that see Ghost. I think that's what that song was, which I like Cuddy's part on there. Just like I liked Cuddy's part that he got on a God, what was that song? Shit. I can't remember the song. Anyways, but yeah. I'm excited. I'm more excited for Cudi stuff than I am for really any of the other ones. Tiana's could be good too, but we'll see.
Nas, I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I keep honestly just that one just keeps like flying around my head.
So is Big Sean not in good music anymore?
I think he still is.
Why does he not have an album happening?
I don't know. He's had
He had I Decided. That came out last year, didn't it?
Yeah, he had I Decided.
Or was it the year before?
Was that the one with
Jump Out the Window?
Yeah, he had that one, but then he also did the one most recent one was the one that was absolute trash. Was the one with what was that one producer from Atlanta?
Oh,
is that Mike Will? No,
Metro Boomin?
No, Metro. Yeah, it was Metro. Yeah, that album was.
I forgot what that was called.
Horrendous. So I would say probably.
I haven't had a chance to hear it.
I'd say probably.
See what I'm saying?
If I was Kanye,
Big Sean.
Yeah, I would too. I think probably and this is just me.
Kanye production.
This is honestly me just joking around, but I think Kanye might have benched Big Sean for a little bit, let him recover after that because goddamn, that album was really bad. That was really, the one with Metro is fucking like he has some of the most cringe punchlines in that album. Just that album. But no, I would too. When I saw that, because he took a picture, of course, everybody was taking pictures from Kanye's little release thing. And there was one where it was him and Kanye sitting at the table. It was Big Sean and Kanye. And I was like, man, that would have been good to get like a 7-track from Sean. Because a lot of Sean's stuff recently has been kind of bloated too. Where it's been like 15, 16 songs. You're like, you could condense this down to 7. And maybe a more focused Big Sean album might be beneficial, especially after like what we got these last two. But yeah, I would like to hear that. But anyways, moving on, like we were saying, to the other album that we got to check out this week. Kind of came out of nowhere, like these other albums, extremely quick and digestible.
Yeah,
perfection. And that is Black Thought and Ninth Wonder.
Streams of Thought, Volume 1.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, what do you guys think? I don't have much to say about this one.
This thing is short.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. That was like one of the
songs.
That was one of the first things that.
Thank you, Ollie.
That was one of the first. Yeah.
This album's short.
And then walk away. And that was one of the first things that Webb said when he got here because he literally listened to it.
I listened to it. I started the song on the drive over here and finished it right when I parked.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So, what was your thoughts since you're the freshest?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't joking. My Wally voice was real. I was being real.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking it was 7, but I couldn't.
I thought it was 7 too for a second because it felt like it.
I listened to Kanye's and I went to this one. I was like, it's too less. Like,
well, what the fuck else am I gonna do with my day?
Yeah, like, all right, well, I guess I'm free.
Oh, damn it! I forgot to listen to the internet. They got it. They released something this weekend.
I didn't think that was out yet, was it?
I seen it.
No, I thought that was the 20th.
It's out.
Oh shit!
That's out. Yeah. Next week.
What the fuck is it called?
No, it's. I just checked on Spotify. It's now.
God damn it!
Come over. Oh wait, let me make sure that's not a. I apologize. That's just a single.
That's just a single. Okay, I was about to say. I was like, that album ain't.
Well, they put new releases, and I was like, oh, well, I heard this earlier today, so clearly, or earlier this week, so clearly that's the same. I apologize. Blame that on the moving.
Okay. Good. I was getting nervous because I was like, man, their promotional thing's cool. I like the picture, and that's like says. I'm pretty sure it says the 20th.
Yeah, you missed the. Oh, we didn't even ask how your day went. We'll ask after this.
We can do it at the end.
Okay,
that's fine.
We'll ask after this. Okay, so my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? Yeah.
I liked it.
Okay.
I especially liked Making a Murderer with Styles P. It's like it was dope to hear him out of just after so long.
Yeah, it is.
Rhapsody never fails as far as a guest verse.
So good.
You know, as far as Ninth did produce all of the tracks, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right.
What was it? Thought versus Ninth? What was
Ninth
that track called?
Thought? Oh wait, which one?
I think it's like second or third. It's like Thought versus Wonder.
Ninth versus Thought is the second track.
That's the second track?
Yes.
That one. That one and Style P. That one was the two that I kept running back.
My favorite out of this is 215 and Making a Murderer. I don't really. I kind of like Dostoevsky.
I like how we all have different favorites.
It's very easy to do.
Mine's Dostoevsky.
Dostoevsky.
Yeah, and thank you.
Throw the accent in.
And thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
In Soviet Russia,
if you die,
album listens to you.
I think I liked Thank You. I can't remember it now that I'm here.
You like 4 out of the 5.
I liked 3. out of the 5.
okay.
Well, 2.5. I'm gonna say 2.5.
Okay.
I am okay with this.
Yeah.
Honestly, with this being a volume 1, I expect more, maybe later in the year.
Yeah, I do too.
With that said, I felt this was a little bit more disposable.
Yeah.
Compared to the other tracks that the other albums that we've listened to that are 7 tracks long. Black Thought doing the lyrical miracle shit as usual. I mean, I kind of was hoping for something a little more dynamic.
Yeah.
I mean, but maybe that was just my mind thinking like he's still stuck on the roots shit. Like there was going to be a little bit more experimentation musically. But no, it was just lyrical miracle from front to back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was fine.
Yeah.
With the exception of those 2 tracks, honestly, now that I think about it, maybe with those 2 tracks, I may not come back to this.
Yeah,
I can dig that.
I'm definitely the same mentality where I liked it, but I probably will never listen to it again.
Yeah, it was a nice little snack.
Yeah,
it was a healthy snack.
Yeah, right. Yeah, peanut butter and celery sticks.
Yeah, it wasn't filling.
No.
What would you rate it?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I want to, honestly, as far as it just kind of being in the middle, I'd probably, and just for the fact that it was just done so well as far as like lyrics go, but as far as, and obviously, 9th is always a plus. Yeah. But I didn't really feel like I didn't hear a lot of experimentation from 9th. As far as the tracks
it was actually there was probably I would say there's definitely less experimentation as far as sonically on this than there would have been on like a Roots album.
I'd probably have to put this in the middle. Like, it wasn't terrible.
No.
It wasn't mediocre.
No.
But it was just...
The lyrics, like, you can't... Like, it's one of those weird things where it's like the lyrics, you have to acknowledge the greatness of the lyrics.
Yeah.
And the production is great.
What I'm trying also not to do is I'm also not trying to sit there and big it up because of who it is.
Exactly. And that's the big thing, too. And I'm not trying to be
I'm not trying to put any favoritism. I'm not trying to be like hip-hop. I'm trying to avoid that, too. You forgot the effect. Well,
damn it. I'm trying to avoid the whole hip-hop thing, too.
So, right now, I'm most comfortable... I'm most comfortable
sounds hurtful right now.
with giving this. I'm most comfortable with giving this a silver at the moment.
Okay.
Honestly,
yeah.
Honestly, I probably if I come back to this and give it a bronze, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
But right now, what's up?
No, I actually agree with you. I would give it a silver.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody gave this a bronze, because it's only 5 tracks and it didn't move you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The same way I kind of like looked at Kanye's.
How could you argue?
Right.
Huh?
No, I'm saying like, how could you argue with that person?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was like, cool. If this had a couple more tracks, I could weigh in a little higher on if it's like, should be better. Lyrics was there for me.
Yeah.
But because I may not I might listen to a couple songs.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm giving it silver. Like, I guess I can listen to the snack all over again, but like, I'll probably just listen to a couple songs, move on about my day.
Yeah.
I was surprised that the album came out. So when I first listened to it, like, I was like, oh, this is the great. Plus, I was listening to Kanye's, at the same time. I was like, oh, this is. And I was like, hold up, let's be real. Let's check this album out. Let's listen to this for real.
Yeah.
It made me stop what I was doing and like listen.
Yeah, you got
so that's why I'm keeping it with a silver.
Mm-hmm.
But if you feel like it's gold, then to each his their own.
Yeah.
Feel like it's a bronze. I could see that, but I'm rolling with silver with you. Volume 2, I need to be better than this one.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. I'm expecting more on volume 2. Whenever that happens, like I'm expecting, like this was the warm up. Volume 2 needs to be game time performance.
Yeah, right, absolutely. Yeah, I mean I'm in the same exact boat.
We're not pushing buttons at all with this one.
No, it's I don't know. It's like you said. It's in that weird place where like you obviously respect and understand and put the lyrics up there, and then the production is great, but it's just It's very.
I'd argue it's good rather than.
Well, yeah,
great.
I'll say it's good, but it's very. I don't want to say samey. I'll say consistent.
It was short.
throughout.
It was too short for me to go to gold. Like it was just like.
See, I'm loving. If the thing is,
I'm
if
loving this
somebody
trend.
nails that 7
like,
thing, it's
you
like
do it
fucking.
right, but this ain't 7. This is 5.
Well, yeah, this is really
EP.
short. This is really
You know
short.
what I'm saying?
This is really short. But yeah, if somebody was to nail that 7, that would be a great 7 because then you could just like
7 to 10 is an amazing number.
yeah,
7 to 10 tracks is like it's
Absolutely.
almost like as I look at podcasts,
Mhm.
an hour, like 45 minutes to an hour 15, it's like a perfect.
See, I'm the
Number.
opposite. With
Well,
podcasts.
shit, we're kind of over that right
I'm,
now.
I'm so opposite on the podcast. I want like a podcast to be like 4 hours long.
No, I do not want that.
I
because,
love
I gotta
that.
do stuff.
That's
in my life.
commute.
Dude,
That's commute
I-
podcast.
Yeah, like,
this is funny.
I'm not driving to Memphis. Like
Whenever
I'm not driving to Memphis and stuff like that. Like I don't get to spend that much time, like where I can just dedicate just being like turn my brain off
Yeah.
and just like go and let podcasts like fill up the void. I don't have that. Like an hour, it's perfect.
One of the podcasts that me and Webb both listen to.
Okay.
Whenever that podcast is under, and that's Super Best Friends is the name of the podcast. But whenever that podcast is under 3 hours, I'm like, dang it.
Well,
But I'm still happy. But it's so funny because like I remember one time, like when they've had guests on before, like you open up the app and it's like 3 hours and 45 minutes. I'm like, fuck yeah.
I got 2 more podcasts for you if you enjoy shit that's over 3 hours.
I've got a couple weird ones that are like there's a Hardcore History, which that
You
one's
mentioned-
like
I remember that you
7
mentioned that.
hours.
I remember you mentioned
like
that.
those. Each one of those episodes are like 7-8 hours. It's like a shift.
You've probably already Joe Rogan Experience. If you
Yeah.
happen to fuck with that,
That was
that's
pretty good.
he's
Yeah.
constantly like, and it's just like, how do you find it? It's like, and this he does these 3-hour shows.
Yeah.
Multiple people.
Oh yeah.
In the day.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Another person, Random Acts of Podcasts, they go on, depending on the topics, they can go up to 4 hours.
There's another one that I got for you guys that is really that I just now found recently via suggestion of a friend of mine from work, but it's called
You got fans? You got a new fan?
No Friend.
Oh.
I barely got those.
It's like
I barely got those. It's called Dissect, and it's a serialized music podcast.
DISSECT.
DISS. Yeah, and basically what they do is they have different seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Each season is a new album. Each episode is a song of that album. So, like for instance, they're on season 3 right now, and the first is Frank Ocean, A Man of Art and Mystery. That's the introduction episode, and then the episode 2 is Thinking About You by Frank Ocean, and the whole episode. And here's a good thing about it, Brent.
What's the second
Each episode is like 35 minutes.
Well, I would hope.
I can rock that.
Yeah.
I can roll with that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you remember what was that? What was the one? The we was all in the same room. The one we was over. What was it? Shayna's crib.
Oh,
That episode was like
the Miss Frizzle
3-4
episode,
hours.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like it felt like we did 6
And-
hours.
and that was
like,
just us
that.
like kind of drinking and chilling.
Right,
and,
which is about to happen in episode when we hit
don't tell nobody.
No, fuck it. Yeah, get excited. Episode 100.
episode 100's coming, and we got some guests.
Like I
I'm
said,
trying to get almost damn near every guest that we've ever had on to be
wow,
on.
that sounds busy.
that'd be dope. We're just like running through. Like, come on, yeah. Tag them in,
Yeah,
tag them in,
yo.
tag them in. Run the bases, run the
Yo.
bases.
Oh, Big Dave's gonna be on. BTG.
Hell yeah.
I'll talk to. We'll talk off camera on all that.
Yeah.
But we got some people that's gonna be on, and it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be May. That's what I thought you were about to say for a second.
We got some folks gonna come to the crib, stop through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 100, episode 99, and 100 are gonna be crazy. So
And
don't
like I
even
said,
worry. But that episode that we did that was like 4 hours long. You know how long it took me? 3 weeks to get through that episode because I kept trying to listen to it, and I would get like an hour in and be like, "Fuck this! Why are we still doing this?"
That's so funny.
Like I was losing my mind listening to it again.
See, I
Because
just
I'll
put it on
listen to the episode over because I missed some of the things like
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
people say. because
Yeah.
you're trying to talk or you're thinking
Doing
or looking
something
up
else,
other
yeah.
stuff, or if it's 4 people talking at the same time, like
Yeah.
shit gets lost. Or with that episode, we had like Shayna's brother talking in the background, like
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Forgot about that.
Like,
And like I said earlier in the episode, kind of wrapping up here.
Mhm.
Next week,
Mhm.
E3,
Mhm.
OAF discussions,
Mm.
collision course.
collision.
We're gonna find out the best way to do it. We're gonna talk about that after recording. I don't want to bore you guys with that, but
Put
just
the
be
camera on.
ready.
Let it go.
Yeah, just be ready for that next weekend starting, and then end through the week, and we'll get as much stuff as possible. Whether it's like you'll see our normal like Instagram and blog post and Facebook post and
Hey.
everything else. There'll be a
Hey.
lot of stuff. Might even have to do like a few write ups and everything, which I would like to start
Question.
doing that more. Like
Question.
kind of written
What y'all
stuff.
doing next Saturday?
As in this upcoming Saturday.
Yes, coming up.
I feel like I was supposed to do something, but I don't
think
remember.
it's time to come to
We'll-
Louisville.
We'll
We're
reach
about
out
to
you.
have drinks
Yeah, we'll
All
figure
right,
it out.
we'll chit
and
chat.
party.
All right.
Yeah.
With that being said, thank you guys for joining us as always. Tell us what you guys think about these 2 albums, that being Black Thought and Ninth Wonder's album, and also Kanye West's Yay.
Come meet up next weekend too, and I'll hear you live
Yeah,
in
let us-
person as I go drinking.
Let us know what you think about those. Let us know what you think. If you have any ideas, shoot them to our email. Of course, you can always find
Sorry,
that
sorry.
Oath discussions
At
at
gmail.com.
gmail.com.
I
Wait,
can
wait.
only imagine he was like, Ed, pass it to you, sir.
I was like that.
Because he was looking at me like, nigga, you know what the email is.
I was
going for
confused. It was
dramatic
like,
effect.
was it a hot potato or
was-
was it you
like,
just blanked out?
No, I was doing a hot
couldn't-
potato. Damn it. I'm
Was it a hot
Only
potato or a
imagine he
cold
just like,
or a cold?
Discussions at gmail.com, facebook.com/Oaf
I was
discussions.
gonna say cucumber, but that's whoa.
Thank
super
you guys
pause.
for
I
joining
don't even know
us.
why the pause is needed, but super pause.
I'm at K and Kid Swift on Twitter and at future_ASC on
Sure.
Instagram.
That was like a question mark.
God.
I am LL Cool B on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram.
No
If you
22.
go- Oh,
22
22.
skidoo.
deuce. So LL Cool B, deuce.
Deuce, dub.
And if you see me on Instagram, you'll hear me yelling at my team winning tug of war at the corporate games this weekend.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, you can find me wherever, whenever, however. I'm out here.
Cool.
Webb859 on Twitter, Webb.859 on Instagram. I should check to see if that ghost account still has that username to sit there so I can consolidate this. That's pissing me off because I keep looking at Webb859 on Instagram and he's not using it. It was like, I don't want, I'm not, yeah.
That was
Fuck
me.
it. I'm
I'll
not
give it
buying
back
it.
to you.
I'm not
My
buying
fault.
it. Yeah.
My fault,
funny.
man. I'll give it back to you. I didn't know you cared so
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it.
much. You know what I'm saying? My bad.
It's like
man.
brand
I like-
recognition, man. It's like, nah.
you know, my fault. Like, it was a good name. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I can watch some stuff. You know, that's what I was. Never
Very
mind.
nice.
Never mind.
Well, guys,
Too
thank
much.
you as always. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We will see you guys next week. Peace.
This is.
Until we meet again, player.
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been Oath Discussions. Please listen to us on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play now, Stitcher, audio episodes on YouTube as well. And so that's all we have today. Thank you very
guys.
much for listening, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Appreciate it. Peace.
There we are. Oath Discussions pioneers.
Quickly.
Confirmed.
Make the meme and then put the @big thing on there with the stupid little graphic like every other goddamn internet comedian does. We got to get these views, baby.